Hey, what's up, guys? I don't usually do guide style videos. I'm not a big fan of them, but something that I've been asked a lot, especially as someone who comes from 3D fighters, is how to sidestep. Now, I'm not a defensive player, so it's very hard for me to explain to you how to defensively sidestep in Tekken, but I can tell you how to learn, specifically versus each character, how to offensively sidestep. What an offensive sidestep is you dictating the flow of a sidestep, whether that be from gaining plus frames, a small amount, or having a small amount of negative frames. So in this instance, we're going to show you some things. We're going to show using Eddie as two moves, one that is -2 and a mid. We already have the bot set to do stuff, and one that is +1 as a high, right? And right now we have Shaheen set to do two moves. We have Shaheen set to do a fast high and a fast mid, his down forward 1, and his jab, right? So that he's trying to counter poke through our pressure. Like, so if we're just like wilding out with pressure, maybe he'll try to counter poke here. Right, so he's supposed to press a button in here. I don't know why he's not. There we go. So he's supposed to be pressing a button. There he goes. So what that means is what we're trying to do is we're trying to bait a whiff, but we're not trying to bait a whiff with a backdash. Right now we're trying to teach people and learn how to bait a whiff with sidestepping. So generally, I think the best way to look at this is looking at the sidestep chart. It's not the perfect way to do it. You could probably go in individually and make sure you know each character's moves and what. Like at a high level, you want to just look at all the moves and know which moves sidestep left, which moves sidestep right, which moves are like kind of fake tracking, and which moves are real tracking, because real tracking will come into this equation. So right now we're looking at Shaheen, who's sidestep right, apparently. We're going to look at his jab and his down forward 1 for now, and we'll mix in some other things as we go, just so you guys can get it. But so what you want to do, my friend Ali Faith, thanks for that, explained that when you sidestep in Tekken, you can sidestep and block. We already knew that. It's a sidestep cancel, backstep cancel. These are very normal things for Tekken. So what you're supposed to do is you don't want to vary the timing of your sidestep too much. You want to make sure that when you sidestep, you let the full thing, or as much of it as possible, rock before backstep. Right? See? So that generally you get the full length of your sidestep, but can still block. It's a skill. It's a learned skill. But it's a skill nonetheless. Like that, right? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to use our -2 and try to sidestep and then block. You could probably buffer it. It's one of the ways to do it. And use our -1. I mean our +1 and try to sidestep block. I say sidestep block because initially what you're looking to do is create a whiff and see what your opponent does with their offense after being poked. Look at that. We got a sidestep whiff. Now what you do after that is you want to try to take your punishment, something small. Generally, you're not going to get anything big usually. There you go. You got it. Something like that, right? Now, the next level to this is, unfortunately, your opponent's not just going to sit there and let you sidestep forever. Or they're going to start using moves that track to the opposite direction of your step. So you want to vary your step, but you don't want to vary the gap. You want to make sure that you're doing roughly the same amount of sidestep frames. It's harder than it looks, TBH. Like that. There we go. Oh, no, I do not want to return character select. And we will add a new thing in. So the next thing we'll add in is a move that tracks to the opposite direction, I think. There it is. Let me turn off the other things so you guys can see what I mean. See how we clear sidestep to going the other way? Like, we didn't even have to step block. Oh. I still did, but we didn't really have to. It just clear whiffs, right? So this is the next level. People will start to use a move that tracks to the opposite direction or tracks to both directions, like so. And you will get hit if you're wrong. Really funny. But what it does is it just creates like a flow, an ebb and flow in the game that's not just like pressing over back and forth. Right, this will allow you to create more whiff situations. so that you can start to get bigger punishes for your whiffs. Damn, if I knew how to sidestep right. Oh, I did it, and I wasn't ready for it. That's actually the next level, is being ready for the whiff you created. That one's really hard too, because it's very fast. It's a really good homing move. Jeez. Damn. This might be hard to do for Shaheen. He has a really fast homing move. His at least probably creates a situation where you have to quick duck. Like that. Which is funny, because that's not what we're trying to show. Shaheen kind of good. Oh, because he was still airborne. E button. Oops. Back turn. I can't even get my normal combo on him. Anyways, regardless, the base of this argument, the base is that what you're doing is you're creating a whiff by doing a small poke and dictating the flow of the sidestep exchange, right? It's harder to do when you're not on offense, right? And you also don't want. There's one thing you don't want. You don't want to create really big offense and choose to sidestep, right? This is 0. You don't want to do something like. Does he have a really big plus frame button? You don't want to sidestep when you have. Wow, actually, I just realized I don't think Eddie has huge plus frames. Oh yeah, he does actually, but they come from his. I think he can get this for free. The Bob will always block it. Let me see if I can. No, I stay in stance. That's toxic. Well, Eddie might not be able to do this specifically, which is unfortunate. Yeah, Eddie stays in stance for his plus frames. Wait, no, he gets out of it. Right? Am I tripping? I'm +8 there, but I think it's because I'm stuck in the stance. Or plus, what was that? Was that +6? +6. You don't want to create big plus frames and then sidestep because you're wasting your turn. You want to do it on smaller exchanges like this. I'm not step blocking, I'm just stepping is why. You want it to be on smaller offense like +1, -3, -2. After -3, it becomes a lot harder to offensively sidestep because the buttons will retrack you easier, right? The way that you beat that, or the way that you lose to that, is whenever someone's using a slower move, right? Something that generally will be some sort of a... I'm trying to find a slow move for him. You know, I don't... In his basic settings, I don't think he has one. I'd have to go to, like, Law and specifically do Dragon Hammer or something. Like that. That's a perfect example. See, now the move is retracking my second because it's slower. It's retracking me specifically because it's slower. So that's another thing they can do is instead of doing buttons that don't track, they could just do slower buttons. Like, you could full sidewalk it, but what I'm teaching you is the very basics, the bare bone essentials of creating small offense off of sidesteps. Offensive sidesteps specifically. But that's some of the ways that you lose to it, right? You lose to it by homing attacks, you lose to it by slower attacks that beat that inherent basic sidestep timing, that level 1, but the level 1 is very strong to pretty much everything else. All right, now we have the jab set, the down forward 1 set, and I believe we have flip kick, down forward 1, and jab, I think. Can you jab? Oh, I guess I didn't take off jab. So as you see here, we're able to sidestep and still block. Oops. We're able to sidestep and still block most of the options. I don't know why they're not coming out every time. They should be. what that does is if your opponent's swinging into it, right, with something small or something fast that is somewhat punishable, you can create a whiff or a block punishment situation. That's a block punishment situation. That's a whiff punishment situation. That's a whiff punishment situation. That's a block punish situation. I think I'm finally understanding exactly what I was supposed to be doing this whole time, which is funny because I'm creating a guide and also learning at the same time with you guys. This is something that you can start to establish with every character at a base level. With every character against every character. Small offensive sidesteps are the basic and most easy to explain version of sidestep offense. Defensive sidesteps is a totally different thing. That's significantly harder to get into because of all the timings of sidestep and sidestep block and sidestep backstep that exist in Tekken, and that's where the meat of Tekken's defensive maneuvers and movement comes from. But if you want to basically learn the beginnings of sidestep, here you go. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you can make your character understand a way to make this work with your character and against other characters. Some of the characters that do this exceptionally well, I'll name a few right now. Azucena, Lily, Leo, and I want to say Alisa. Alisa also does this really well. I don't know how I didn't think of her first, right? These small, the big sidestep characters with very big sidesteps that also have small enough pokes that they can dictate the flow of offense and create sidestep whiff punishment. It's not just about sidestep whiff punishment and sidestep block punishment. It's also about conditioning and making your opponent feel as if they have less options and have to go to riskier or more or bigger buttons to create offense. Once you get that down, you can start to dismantle people's playstyles. If this helped in any way, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below of any other small Tekken guides you're looking for. I can't do anything super major, but I can do small stuff. If you're looking for a really big Tekken creator who can do bigger guides, I recommend PDX and Immortal Soul. They're really good creators, and I think that they put out some of the best content for learning the beginnings of the game and learning even more advanced things in the game. Anyways, this has been Beanie Thuggish for the YouTubes, talking about and maybe not properly fully explaining offensive sidestepping, signing out and saying peace.